your husband's best friend walks through the door. You look up, your eyes meet his, and in that instant, that single, impossible instant, you know you're going to destroy everything. Not because you're evil, not because you want to, but because what you just felt was more real than anything you felt in your entire marriage. And he felt it too. You can see it in his face. The recognition, the terror, the knowledge that both of you just became traitors without saying a single word. Your husband is right there. The king. A good man. A man who's never hurt you. His best friend stands frozen. The greatest knight alive. A man who swore absolute loyalty, who loves your husband like a brother. And you're the queen. You have duties, vows, responsibilities. None of it matters, because in that moment, you both know this is going to happen. This affair, this betrayal, this destruction, not today, not tomorrow, but inevitably. You can already see how it ends. The accusations, the trial, the stake with wood piled around it, the fire. But you're going to do it anyway, because you just felt something real, and you've been empty for so long. This is the story of Lancelot and Guinevere, the affair that killed Camelot, the love that cost thousands of lives, the moment when everything good turned to ash. They weren't villains, they were just human, and being human destroyed a kingdom. If you want to understand how love can murder as efficiently as war, subscribe to the Midnight Archives and hit that like button. Because tonight, we're watching 3 good people make choices that will damn them all. This is episode 2 in our King Arthur series. If you haven't watched episode 1, go watch it now. You need to know about the May Day massacre and Mordred, because Arthur's sins are coming home, and the affair is just the beginning. Welcome to the Midnight Archives. Let's begin. Arthur is 20 years old. He's been king for 5 years. His kingdom is secure. The rebel lords who challenged him at the Battle of Bedegraine have submitted those who survived anyway. 10,000 men died in that valley, but the war is over. Camelot is rising, not just a castle anymore, a real city, stone walls, great halls, a cathedral under construction, the symbol of Arthur's dream. The round table sits in his great hall, a gift from his future father-in-law, though Arthur doesn't know that yet. 150 seats arranged in a perfect circle. No head of the table, no hierarchy, just knights in fellowship. Most of the seats are still empty, but they're filling, slowly. Everything Arthur dreamed of is coming true, except for one problem. No heir, no wife, no children, no succession plan, and his advisors won't let him forget it. You must marry, my lord, they tell him at every council meeting. The kingdom needs an heir. If you die without a son, everything you've built collapses. The civil war starts again. They're right. Arthur knows they're right. If he dies tomorrow, the throne goes to who? There's no clear successor. The lords would fight over it. Britain would tear itself apart again. He needs to marry, needs sons, needs to secure the succession. So Arthur does what kings do. He makes it a political calculation. Word goes out. King Arthur is looking for a wife. Offers come from across Britain and beyond. lords offering their daughters. Alliances proposed, dowries promised. But one offer stands out. King Leodegrance of Camelot, a loyal ally who supported Arthur during the rebellion. A good man, a strong kingdom. He has a daughter, Guinevere, 18 years old, beautiful by all accounts, educated, well-mannered, everything a queen should be. And Leodegrance offers an extraordinary dowry, the Round Table itself. The table is a relic, ancient, legendary, built to seat 150 knights, a symbol of unity and brotherhood. Arthur's advisors are enthusiastic. This is an excellent match, my lord. Strong alliance, prestigious bloodline, and that table. Imagine the symbolism. The greatest knights in Britain gathered at one table, united in fellowship. What about the girl? Arthur asks Guinevere. What's she like? His advisors look at each other. Does it matter, my lord? It doesn't. Not really. This is politics, strategy, securing the kingdom. Love has nothing to do with it. Accept the offer, Arthur says. I'll marry her. Spring. Arthur travels to Camelot to meet his future wife. King Leodegrance receives him with full honors. Feast, tournament, all the ceremony due to Britain's king. And finally, in Leodegrance's great hall, Arthur meets Guinevere. She's everything promised. Beautiful, genuinely beautiful. Dark hair, clear eyes, graceful. But more than that, intelligent. When she speaks, she's articulate, thoughtful. She's been educated, reads Latin, understands politics. Arthur is impressed, relieved even. This won't be as difficult as he feared. They talk, formally at first, Arthur asking proper questions, Guinevere giving proper answers, but gradually they relax, find common ground. They discuss books they've both read, philosophy, governance. What do you think of marriage? Arthur asks, being direct. Guinevere doesn't flinch. I think it's my duty. I'm 18, unmarried. My father needs alliances. You need an heir. This marriage serves both our kingdoms. That's very practical. Should I pretend otherwise? She looks at him directly. Should I claim to be in love with you? We met an hour ago. Arthur likes her honesty. No, honesty is better. We'll have a partnership, a working marriage. That's enough. Is it? Guinevere asks quietly. It will have to be. She nods, accepts this. Then I'll be a good queen. I'll support you. I'll give you heirs if I can. I'll do my duty. And I'll try to be a good husband. Try? She almost smiles. I've never been married before. I might not be very good at it. Then we'll learn together. It's settled, practical, reasonable. A good political match. No passion, no romance, no love. But respect. And that will have to be enough. The wedding is magnificent. A spectacle. Guinevere wears white and gold, a crown of flowers. She looks like every man's vision of a perfect queen. Arthur wears his finest, Excalibur at his side, looking every inch the king. The ceremony is in the half-finished cathedral at Camelot, packed with nobles and knights. Everyone who matters in Britain is here. The Archbishop presides. The vows are spoken. Arthur and Guinevere are bound before God and witnesses. You may kiss your bride. Arthur does, chaste, formal, the kiss of a political alliance. The crowd cheers anyway. The feast lasts 3 days. Music, dancing, tournament competitions, celebration, and throughout it all, Arthur and Guinevere play their parts perfectly. The devoted king and his beautiful queen, smiling, gracious, united. No one can see that beneath the performance, there's nothing, no spark, no connection, no love, just two people doing their duty. The first year of marriage is fine. They're cordial with each other, respectful, they share meals, attend court together, present a united front. In private, they're polite strangers. The marriage bed is dutiful, joyless, both trying to produce an heir because that's what's expected. No children come, month after month, nothing. Maybe it's Arthur, maybe it's Guinevere, maybe it's both. Maybe God is withholding his blessing. They don't talk about it. Just keep trying, keep hoping. Guinevere spends her days managing the household, learning queenship. She's good at it, organized, diplomatic. The court respects her. Arthur spends his days governing, building, training knights. He's building something real, something that might last. They live parallel lives that occasionally intersect. It's not a bad marriage, just an empty one. Are you happy? Arthur asks her one night. Guinevere considers the question. Are you? I asked first. I'm content. I have purpose. I'm doing important work. That's enough. Is it? It has to be. She looks at him. You didn't marry me for love. I didn't marry you for love. We married for the kingdom. That's what we have. It's enough. She's trying to convince herself as much as him. Arthur nods, says nothing. Because she's right. This is what they have. A partnership, a working marriage. Not a great marriage, but good enough. He keeps telling himself that. Good enough. And then Lancelot arrives. One morning, a rider approaches Camelot's gates. A knight. Foreign armor. The style is from Gaul, not Britain. Riding a magnificent white horse, alone. He's young, maybe 20 years old. Dark hair, handsome. He carries himself with absolute confidence. The guards stop him at the gate. State your business. I'm here to see King Arthur. I wish to join his round table. The guards look at each other. Knights arrive regularly requesting to join. Most are turned away. The round table is for the best of the best. But something about this knight is different. The quality of his armor, the way he sits his horse, the certainty in his voice. Your name? Lancelot du Lac, of Benwick in Gaul. One of the guards recognizes the name. You're the knight raised by the Lady of the Lake. That's what people say. There are stories about this one. A baby found on the shore of a lake raised by the lady, the same mysterious woman who gave Arthur Excalibur, trained in combat and courtesy until he became the perfect knight. Rumors, legends, probably exaggerated, but the guards don't want to turn away someone potentially important. Wait here, I'll inform the king. Arthur receives the message in his hall. Guinevere is beside him. It's morning court. Another knight requesting to join? Guinevere asks. Apparently. This one says he's from Gaul, raised by the Lady of the Lake. Guinevere's interest sharpens. The lady who gave you Excalibur? Maybe, or maybe he's just using her name for credibility. Arthur stands. Either way, we test him. same as everyone else. Every knight who wants to join the Round Table must prove themselves single combat against Arthur's champions. If they win, or even show exceptional skill, they're considered. Most fail. Arthur walks to the courtyard, Guinevere follows. She often watches these tests. Half the court comes too. It's entertainment. Lancelot is waiting. He's dismounted, standing in the center of the courtyard, calm, patient. Arthur sizes him up. Young, well-built, moves like a fighter, but lots of knights look impressive. "I'm King Arthur. You want to join my Round Table?" "Yes, my lord." "Why?" "Because it's the greatest fellowship of knights in the world, and I want to be part of something greater than myself." "Good answer. Better than most give." "You'll have to prove yourself. Combat. Against my best knights." "I understand." "And if you lose, you leave no second chances." "I won't lose." It's not arrogance, just certainty, like stating a fact. Arthur almost smiles. He likes confidence. "We'll see, Gawain. Come test this knight." Sir Gawain steps forward, one of Arthur's best, strong, skilled, loyal. He and Lancelot face each other, swords drawn, shields ready. "First blood or yield," Arthur calls. They circle. Gawain attacks first, a testing strike. Lancelot blocks easily, counters with a riposte that nearly catches Gawain's shoulder. Gawain's eyes widen. This one is fast. They exchange blows, steel ringing. The crowd watching, murmuring. Within 2 minutes, Lancelot disarms Gawain, sends his sword spinning across the courtyard, holds his own blade to Gawain's throat. "Yield," Gawain says, raising his hands. The crowd gasps. No one beats Gawain that quickly. Arthur leans forward, interested now. "Again," he says. "Kay. Go." Kay, Arthur's foster brother, steps in. He lasts 3 minutes before Lancelot puts him on his back. Bedivere. Bedivere lasts 4 minutes. Still loses. 3 of Arthur's best knights, all defeated, not narrowly, decisively. Arthur looks at Guinevere. She's watching Lancelot with undisguised fascination. So is everyone else. This knight is exceptional. "Interesting," Arthur says. He stands, draws Excalibur. "My turn." Arthur walks into the courtyard. The crowd goes silent. The king doesn't usually fight these tests personally, but this knight has earned it. Lancelot turns to face him, sees Excalibur. His eyes widen slightly. Everyone knows that sword, the blade that never fails. "Last chance to withdraw," Arthur says. "No shame in it. You've already proven yourself against my knights." "I didn't come here to withdraw, my lord." "Good answer." They face each other. Arthur raises Excalibur. Lancelot raises his own blade. Ordinary steel, nothing magical about it. They circle. Arthur attacks first. Testing a quick strike. Lancelot blocks. His defense is perfect. Arthur presses. Faster now. More aggressive. A combination that would overwhelm most fighters. Lancelot blocks every strike. Counters. Forces Arthur back a step. Arthur feels something he hasn't felt in years. Challenge. Since getting Excalibur and the scabbard, no one has matched him. No one can. He's too good, too protected. But this knight is keeping pace. They fight across the courtyard, neither giving ground for long strike and counter-strike, block and riposte. Arthur is grinning now, actually enjoying himself. Lancelot is focused, but there's a light in his eyes. He's enjoying this too. 10 minutes pass. 15. 20. Neither man yields. Neither man is winning. The crowd is silent, watching this impossible duel. Finally, Arthur steps back, breathing hard, laughing. Enough! I call it a draw. Lancelot lowers his sword, also breathing hard, also smiling. You're the first person who's ever matched me this long, Arthur says, clasping Lancelot's arm. The first person who made me work for it. I've never seen anyone fight like you. I was raised by the Lady of the Lake, my lord. She taught me everything. She taught you well. Arthur sheathes Excalibur. Welcome to Camelot, Lancelot de Lac. You've earned your place at the round table. The crowd erupts, cheering. Lancelot kneels. Thank you, my lord. I swear my loyalty to you. My sword is yours. My life is yours. Until death. Rise, brother. Arthur pulls him to his feet. You're not just my knight. You're my friend. I can feel it. We're going to do great things together. And he means it. In this moment, Arthur feels like he's found something he didn't know he was missing. A true friend. An equal. A brother. Throughout the fight, Guinevere sits on the platform, watching. She's seen dozens of knights fight for a place at the round table. She's watched her husband defeat challenger after challenger. This is different. This knight, Lancelot, is beautiful in motion. Every strike is perfect, every movement graceful. He's like watching a dance, deadly, elegant, perfect. And he matched Arthur, the king, with Excalibur, the warrior who cannot be defeated. Lancelot matched him. Guinevere realizes she's holding her breath. Her heart is beating faster. She tells herself it's just excitement, admiration for skill, nothing more. But when Lancelot and Arthur clasp arms, when they're laughing together like old friends, Guinevere feels something unfamiliar. Want. She pushes it away. Ridiculous. She just watched him fight for 10 minutes. She doesn't even know him, but she can't stop looking at him. And when the tournament ends, when Lancelot turns toward the platform and his eyes meet hers, the connection is instant, electric, undeniable. Both of them feel it. Both recognize it immediately, and both are terrified. Because Guinevere is the queen, and Lancelot just swore loyalty to her husband. This can't happen, but they both know it will. Over the following months, Arthur and Lancelot become inseparable. They train together every morning, fight side by side in tournaments, discuss strategy and philosophy. Late into the night, Arthur makes Lancelot his champion, his right hand, the knight he trusts above all others. You're the brother I never had, Arthur tells him one night over wine. They're in Arthur's chambers, alone, speaking freely. I feel the same, Lancelot replies. I've served other lords, but never one I truly believed in. You're building something real, Arthur, something that matters. I'm honored to be part of it. I couldn't do it without you. You're the best knight I've ever known, better than me, if I'm honest. You have Excalibur and the scabbard. I can't compete with magic. I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about skill heart. You're what every knight should be, brave, honorable, true. Lancelot looks uncomfortable with the praise. I try, my lord. Don't my lord me, not when we're alone. We're friends, brothers. You can call me Arthur. Arthur, then. Lancelot smiles, raises his cup. To brotherhood. To brotherhood. They drink, and Lancelot feels the weight of what's coming. The the betrayal he's already contemplating, the friendship he's about to destroy, because he's in love with Arthur's wife. It's been 3 months since Lancelot arrived. He's settled into Camelot, earned the respect of the other knights, proven himself in a dozen small ways. Tonight there's a feast, celebrating something. There's always a celebration at Camelot. Arthur likes bringing people together. The great hall is packed, music plays, wine flows. Lancelot sits at the round table with the other knights, talking, laughing, comfortable. But he keeps looking at the high table where Arthur sits, and beside him, Guinevere. Lancelot has barely spoken to her since arriving. A few formal exchanges, courtesies, nothing more. He's been avoiding her, deliberately, because he felt something that first day. That moment when their eyes met, that impossible connection. He's been telling himself it was nothing. Imagination, just attraction to a beautiful woman, nothing more. He's lying to himself. Tonight, Arthur calls him to the high table. "Lancelot, stop hiding with the knights. Come sit with us." Lancelot has no choice. He approaches, bows to Guinevere. "Your Majesty." "Sir Lancelot." Her voice is controlled, careful. "I've heard much about you. My husband speaks of you constantly. I'm honored by his trust. He says you're the greatest knight he's ever known, better than him even." "The king is too generous. I'm merely—" "Sit," Arthur interrupts. "Stop being so formal. You're my champion. You can sit with your queen." Lancelot sits beside Guinevere, close enough to smell her perfume, close enough to see her hands trembling slightly. She's as nervous as he is. Arthur is talking. Something about tomorrow's hunt. Lancelot isn't listening. All he can think about is how close Guinevere is, how her dress moves when she breathes, how her voice sounds when she laughs at something Arthur says. He's drowning, and he knows it. "Sir Lancelot?" He realizes Guinevere is talking to him. "Yes, Your Majesty? I asked if you enjoy hunting." Yes, very much. You'll join us tomorrow then, if the king wishes it." "I wish it," Arthur says cheerfully. "We'll make a day of it. The 3 of us. It'll be good." The 3 of us. Arthur, Guinevere, Lancelot. This is dangerous. This is how affairs begin. Time together. Proximity. Opportunity. Lancelot should refuse, should make an excuse, should stay away. "I'd be honored," he hears himself say. Guinevere's eyes meet his, for just a moment, and he sees it. She feels it too. This impossible pull, this attraction that shouldn't exist. They're both in trouble. Morning, autumn, cold air, perfect weather for hunting. Arthur leads a small group into the forest, a few knights, servants, dogs, and Guinevere. She rides well, confident, skilled. She loves hunting. Lancelot rides near Arthur, trying to stay away from Guinevere. Doesn't work. The group spreads out, and somehow, accidentally, inevitably, Lancelot and Guinevere end up alone, following the dogs. The others lost somewhere in the trees. They ride in silence. The only sounds are hoofbeats and distant horns. Finally, Guinevere speaks. "We should rejoin the others." "Yes, Your Majesty. You can call me Guinevere when we're alone." "We shouldn't be alone." "No, we shouldn't." She pulls her horse to a stop, looks at him. "But here we are." Lancelot stops too. "Your Majesty." "Guinevere." "Guinevere." Her name feels dangerous in his mouth. I should go. Why? You know why. She does. They both do. I'm married to your king, your friend, your brother. Yes. And you swore him loyalty unto death. Yes. So this, whatever this is, it can't happen. No, it can't. They stare at each other, not moving. I don't love him, Guinevere says quietly. Arthur, I respect him, I admire him, but I don't love him. It was a political marriage. We're colleagues, nothing more. That doesn't matter. Doesn't it? He doesn't love me either. We share a bed out of duty. We're trying to produce an heir. That's all we are to each other. He trusts you. He trusts me. We'd be betraying him. I know. Guinevere's eyes are bright. I know all of that. I've been telling myself the same things for 3 months. It doesn't change what I feel. Don't say it. Why not? We both know it's true. Because once you say it, once it's real, we can't take it back. Maybe I don't want to take it back. Guinevere, I love you, she says. Simple, direct. I barely know you. I've spoken to you maybe a dozen times, but I love you. And I think you love me too. Lancelot closes his eyes. Don't do this. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me you don't feel this. He can't, because she's right. I'm Arthur's friend, he says. His brother. This would destroy him. I know. It would destroy everything. His kingdom, our fellowship, all of it. I know. So we can't. We won't. This conversation ends here. We go back. We pretend this never happened. We do our duty. Can you do that? Guinevere asks. Can you really pretend? Lancelot opens his eyes, looks at her, this beautiful, impossible woman. I don't know, he admits, but I have to try. He turns his horse, starts to ride away. Lancelot. He stops, doesn't look back. I'll try too, she says. But I don't think it will work. I don't think we can fight this. We have to. Why? What's the alternative? The alternative is we destroy the man we both love. The king, the kingdom, everything. Silence. Then, maybe it's worth it. Lancelot rides away, doesn't respond, because he's terrified she might be right. They try. For weeks, they try. Lancelot avoids her. When they must be in the same room, he doesn't look at her. Doesn't speak to her unless necessary. Guinevere does the same. Stays in her chambers. Focuses on her duties. Tries not to think about him. It doesn't work. They keep finding each other accidentally. The castle isn't that big. In the garden. Both unable to sleep. Meeting by chance under the stars. In the library. Both reaching for the same book in the chapel. Both seeking what? Forgiveness. Strength. Each time they talk. Just talk. About nothing important. Books. Weather. Court gossip. But the tension builds. Every conversation is charged. Dangerous. We can't keep doing this, Lancelot says one night. They're in the garden again late. Everyone else asleep. I know. Arthur will notice. People will talk. They already talk. Guinevere looks at him. The servants gossip. They see how we look at each other. We're not as subtle as we think. Then we need to stop. Completely. No more of these meetings. Agreed. They stand there, not moving, not leaving. I should go, Lancelot says. Yes, you should. He doesn't. Guinevere. She kisses him, just steps forward and kisses him. Desperate, hungry, like she's been drowning and he's air. For a moment, Lancelot is frozen, shocked. Then he kisses her back, and everything they've been fighting for months, all the resistance, all the duty, all the honor, crumbles. When they finally break apart, both are breathless. We can't, Lancelot says. We can't do this. I know, Arthur. I know. This is wrong. This is... She kisses him again, softer this time, slower. I know it's wrong, she whispers. I know what this costs. I don't care. I care. I love Arthur. He's my brother. I can't... But you do. She pulls back, looks at him. You love me, don't you? Lancelot closes his eyes. Yes, God help me. Yes. Then that's all that matters. No, that's not... We're already damned, Lancelot. We've been damned since the moment we met. At least let's be damned together. After that night, they stop fighting it. They meet secretly. The garden, Guinevere's chambers when Arthur is occupied, the forest outside Camelot. They're careful, or they think they are. Guinevere dismisses her servants before Lancelot arrives. Lancelot varies his routes through the castle. They never touch in public. But secrets don't stay secret. Not in a royal court. The servants know. Of course they know. They see Lancelot entering the Queen's chambers late at night. See him leaving before dawn. The knights know. They see how Lancelot and Guinevere look at each other. The way they orbit each other at feasts. The way they both disappear at the same times. Everyone knows. Except Arthur. Or maybe Arthur knows too. Maybe he sees it. Maybe he chooses not to acknowledge it, because acknowledging it means acting on it, means charging them with treason, means executing Guinevere and killing Lancelot, means destroying his wife and his best friend and his kingdom all at once. So Arthur looks away, pretends, maintains the lie, and the court follows his lead. Everyone pretends, everyone maintains the fiction. The queen is faithful, the champion is loyal, the king is secure, all lies, but necessary lies. This is how it goes for years, the affair continuing. The court pretending Arthur looking away, everyone waiting for the moment when the truth can't be ignored anymore, when someone forces it into the open, when everything falls apart. 20 years have passed since the May Day massacre. Arthur is 40 now, no longer the boy king who pulled a sword from stone, no longer the teenager who killed 10,000 men at Bedegraine. He's built Camelot into the greatest kingdom Britain has ever seen. A real city rising from the hills, stone walls, great halls, a cathedral that reaches toward heaven, the symbol of everything he dreamed of. The round table sits in his great hall, 150 seats, and almost all of them are filled knights from across Britain and beyond. Gawain, Gareth, Gaheris, Bedivere, Bors, Percival, Kay, his foster brother, still loyal after all these years, the greatest warriors, the most honorable men, united in fellowship and bound by oath. Arthur has spent 20 years building this. 20 years of peace, 20 years of justice, 20 years of proving that the boy who pulled a sword could become a king worth following. 15 years ago, Arthur married Guinevere, daughter of King Leodegrance. Beautiful, intelligent, everything a queen should be. It was a political arrangement. Arthur needed an heir, needed alliances, needed to secure the succession. Guinevere understood her duty. She accepted the marriage, became his queen. They tried. For years they tried. But there was no love, just respect, just duty, just two people doing what was expected of them. No children came. The succession remained unsecured. The marriage became cordial, polite, empty. They sleep in separate chambers, speak formally in public, live parallel lives that rarely intersect except for ceremonial occasions. It's not a bad marriage, just a hollow one. Arthur tells himself it's enough. Queens don't need to love their kings, just support them. He's lying to himself, but it's an easy lie to maintain. 10 years ago, everything changed. A foreign knight arrived at Camelot's gates, Lancelot de Lac, from Gaul. 20 years old then, already legendary, he asked to join the Round Table. Arthur tested him personally. Single combat in the courtyard. Lancelot was the first man who could match Arthur blow for blow, the first to make Arthur work for victory. The fight lasted an hour before Arthur called it a draw. "I've never met anyone who could stand against me this long," Arthur told him, laughing, clasping his arm. "Welcome to Camelot, brother." And they became brothers. Instant, deep friendship. The kind Arthur had never had before. Arthur made Lancelot his champion, his right hand, his most trusted knight. "You're the brother I never had," Arthur told him one night over wine. "I am yours until death," Lancelot swore. He meant it. Arthur believed him. And then Lancelot met Guinevere. It started innocently enough. A formal introduction at a feast, Lancelot kneeling before his queen, their eyes meeting. The connection was instant, undeniable, terrifying to both of them. They tried to fight it, tried to stay apart, tried to honor their duty to Arthur. It didn't work. Within months, they were meeting in secret stolen moments in gardens, whispered conversations in corridors, hands that touched when no one was watching. Within a year, it was a full affair. They've been together for nearly 10 years now, secret lovers, hidden in plain sight. And everyone knows. The entire court knows. The knights whisper about it. The servants gossip. Visiting lords notice within days of arriving. Everyone knows except Arthur. Or maybe Arthur knows too. Maybe he sees the way Lancelot looks at Guinevere, the way she lights up when he enters a room, the way their absences coincide. But he doesn't acknowledge it, doesn't confront it, doesn't act on it. Because if Arthur admits what everyone knows, if he's forced to recognize the affair, then he has to act, has to charge them with treason, has to execute his wife and kill his best friend. So he pretends, looks the other way, maintains the lie, the secret that isn't really secret, the truth that everyone ignores. It's worked for 10 years, a delicate balance, a shared fiction. Arthur has told himself he'll deal with it eventually, later, when the kingdom is more secure, when there's an heir, when something. He's been saying later for a decade. And in all that time, in all those years of building Camelot, filling the round table, managing his hollow marriage and ignoring his wife's affair, Arthur has almost forgotten the May Day massacre, almost convinced himself it worked, that the prophecy was prevented, that Mordred drowned with the other 42 babies. Almost. Sometimes, late at night, he wonders, what if one survived? What if the prophecy finds another way? But those thoughts come less and less often. 20 years is a long time. The guilt has dulled. The fear has faded. Arthur is 40 years old. His kingdom is at its height. His knights are legendary. His name will echo through history. He thinks he's won. Thinks he's beaten destiny. Thinks his sins are buried with those drowned babies. He's wrong. One morning, a rider approaches Camelot's gates. A young knight, 20 years old, wearing fine armor but no colors, no heraldry. Traveling alone, dark-eyed, handsome, familiar in a way that's hard to place. He requests audience with the king, official business, important. The guards let him in. He's clearly noble-born, clearly a knight. No reason to refuse him. Arthur receives him in the great hall. It's a normal morning. Court is in session. Knights are present. Guinevere sits on her throne beside Arthur's. Lancelot stands at Arthur's right hand. His champion, his brother. The young knight enters, walks down the long hall toward the thrones. Everyone watches. New knights arrive regularly. This should be routine, but something about this one feels different. Arthur can't say why, just an instinct, a cold feeling in his gut. The young man reaches the dais, kneels, head bowed. "Rise," Arthur says. "State your name and your business." The young man stands, looks Arthur directly in the eyes, and smiles. It's not a friendly smile. It's knowing satisfied. The smile of someone who's been waiting a very long time for this moment. "I am Mordred," he says. His voice carries through the silent hall, clear, confident. "Your son." The hall erupts. Knights shouting, nobles gasping, servants rushing to hear better. Guinevere's hand goes to her mouth. Lancelot's hand goes to his sword instinctively. But Arthur just sits there, frozen, because he knows exactly who this is. The baby from the May Day massacre. The infant he ordered drowned. The child who was supposed to die 20 years ago. The prophecy made flesh. You will be killed by your own son. Arthur's hands grip the armrests of his throne. His knuckles are white. This can't be happening. This can't be real. But Mordred is standing right there, alive, 20 years old, smiling. "I know you ordered me killed," Mordred says into the shocked silence, "along with 42 other babies, all of us born on May Day, all of us drowned on your command." Arthur can't speak, can't breathe. "But I survived," Mordred continues. "Washed up on a beach, raised by fishermen, grew up hearing stories about the great King Arthur, never knowing he was the man who tried to murder me." He takes a step closer to the throne. Guards move to intercept him, but Arthur raises a hand. "Stop. I only learnt the truth 5 years ago," Mordred says. "My mother told me. More goes. Your sister, the woman you slept with, the woman who bore your child from a union that should never have happened." He's not being explicit, not saying the word, but everyone understands. Arthur slept with his half-sister, fathered a child. tried to kill that child, and now the child has returned. I have proof, Mordred says. He pulls a ring from his finger, holds it up. It's a signet ring. Arthur recognizes it immediately. Morgause's ring, unmistakable, proof of her bloodline, proof of her claim, proof that Mordred is telling the truth. Arthur could deny it, could claim Mordred is lying, could have him arrested as an imposter, but too many people know the truth. Merlin knows, the older knights know. Rumors have circulated for 20 years, and Arthur is tired of lying. It's true, Arthur says quietly. The hall goes even more silent, everyone straining to hear. I am your father, Arthur continues, and I tried to have you killed. You and 42 other innocent children, to prevent a prophecy, to save my kingdom. He looks at Mordred, at this young man who should be dead, who Arthur murdered, or tried to. I was wrong, Arthur says. It's the greatest sin I've ever committed. I've carried that guilt for 20 years, and I'll carry it to my grave. He stands, descends from his throne, walks toward Mordred. I can't undo what I did, Arthur says. I can't bring back those babies. I can't erase your childhood without a father, but I can. I can try to make amends. He stops in front of Mordred, looks him in the eyes. Welcome home, my son. He opens his arms, offers an embrace. Mordred stares at him. This is not what he expected. He came for confrontation, for public humiliation, for revenge. But Arthur is offering forgiveness, acceptance, love. After a long moment, Mordred steps into the embrace. The hall erupts in applause. This is a fairy tale ending. The lost son returned. The king's redemption. Forgiveness conquering sin. Everyone is moved. Everyone is cheering. Everyone except one person. At the edge of the hall, in the shadows, an old man watches. Merlin. His face is grave, sad, knowing, because Merlin understands what Arthur doesn't. Arthur just embraced his own murderer. That night, Arthur stands alone on Camelot's walls, staring out at the darkness, thinking about Mordred, about the massacre, about sins coming home. You know who he is. The voice comes from behind him. Arthur doesn't turn. He'd know that voice anywhere. Merlin, I thought you were gone. I am gone. This is the last time you'll see me. Merlin steps beside him. He looks older, tired. But I had to warn you one more time. He's my son. I tried to murder him. I owe him. You owe him nothing, Merlin interrupts. He's here for revenge, not reconciliation. You just welcomed your killer into your home. The prophecy said I'd be killed by my son. You can't prevent prophecy, Merlin. You taught me that yourself when you made me drown those babies. Merlin is silent for a moment. I was wrong about that. The massacre didn't prevent the prophecy. It guaranteed it. I thought I could manipulate destiny. I was wrong. Then what do I do? I don't know. Merlin sounds genuinely lost. For the first time in my life, I don't know. I've seen how this ends, Arthur. I've seen you dead, Mordred dead, Britain burning, but I don't know how to stop it. Then why are you here? To say goodbye and to tell you, I'm sorry for all of it, for your father's sin, for taking you from your mother, for the massacre, for making you into this. He gestures at Arthur. A good king carrying sins that aren't entirely his own. Arthur finally turns to look at him. Where are you going? Somewhere I can't interfere anymore, somewhere I can't make things worse. Merlin manages a sad smile. I fell in love, Arthur, with someone I shouldn't have. Someone who's going to trap me, and I'm going to let her. Because I'm tired of seeing the future. Tired of knowing how everything ends. Tired of being responsible for it. I need you. No, you don't. You haven't needed me for years. You're king. The kingdom is yours. The choices are yours. The consequences are yours. Merlin puts a hand on Arthur's shoulder. You'll face what's coming without me, as you should have all along. He steps back. Goodbye, Arthur. You were the best thing I ever created, and the worst. I'm proud of you, and I'm sorry. And then he's gone. Just gone, like he was never there. Arthur stands alone on the wall, facing Mordred without Merlin's guidance, facing the prophecy without Merlin's magic, facing his doom alone. That same night, in his newly assigned chambers, Mordred stands at the window, looking out over Camelot. This city, this kingdom, built by the man who tried to kill him. Arthur thinks this is reconciliation, thinks his guilt and his public apology will make things right. He's a fool. Mordred didn't come here for forgiveness, didn't come here to be welcomed home like a prodigal son. He came here for revenge, and not quick revenge, not simple murder. Mordred wants to destroy everything Arthur loves, wants to tear down this kingdom, wants Arthur to watch it all crumble before he dies. He's been planning this for years, learning, training, preparing, and now he's inside Camelot, inside Arthur's trust, inside the court. He just needs the right weapon, the right weakness, the right moment to strike. He thinks about what he's observed in his first day at court, the way Lancelot and Guinevere looked at each other, the way Arthur pretended not to notice the queen and the champion, Arthur's wife and Arthur's best friend, lovers, obviously, and Mordred smiles. He's found his weapon. Over the following weeks, Arthur welcomes Mordred into court, gives him fine chambers, rich clothes, a place of honor at feasts, and finally, the greatest honor, a seat at the round table. This is my son, Arthur announces to the assembled knights. He will take his place among you. Treat him as you would treat me. Some knights are skeptical. Gawain watches Mordred carefully. Guinevere doesn't trust him, but most accept him. Arthur's word is law. And Arthur says Mordred is family. Mordred plays his part perfectly. Humble, grateful, devoted. Thank you, Father. I never dreamed I'd find acceptance here. I thought you'd turn me away, execute me even. You're my son, Arthur says. I wronged you. I'm trying to make it right. You already have. Mordred clasps Arthur's arm. I'm home. That's all I ever wanted. Lies. All lies. But Arthur believes them. Wants to believe them. Needs to believe that his sin can be redeemed. So Mordred stays. Becomes part of the court. Part of the fellowship. And he watches and waits. It doesn't take long to confirm what he noticed on his first day. Lancelot and Guinevere are lovers. Obviously, painfully obviously, he sees them in the garden talking too close, touching too long. He sees Lancelot enter Guinevere's chambers late at night, sees him leave before dawn. He sees the way the court pretends not to notice, the way the knights look away, the way Arthur maintains his willful ignorance. This is perfect. Better than Mordred could have hoped. Arthur's wife, Arthur's best friend, Arthur's two most beloved people, betraying him, right under his nose, every single night. All Mordred has to do is force the truth into the open, make it impossible for Arthur to ignore. Arthur will have to charge them, have to try them, have to execute Guinevere and kill Lancelot, and the kingdom will tear itself apart. The round table will shatter. The fellowship will end. Everything Arthur built, destroyed, not by an enemy army, not by invasion, by love. Mordred just needs to set the trap. Gather witnesses, catch them in the act, make it undeniable. He starts gathering allies, knights who resent Lancelot's favoured status, nobles who disapprove of Guinevere, men who can be manipulated. His half-brother Gawain is easy. Gawain is bitter, ambitious, eager to prove himself. "I know about the affair," Mordred tells him quietly one night. "Lancelot and the Queen." "Everyone knows," Gawain replies. "The king pretends, but everyone knows." What if we made it impossible for the king to pretend? What if we caught them, with witnesses? Undeniable proof. Gawain's eyes light up. The king would have to act, would have to charge them. Exactly. And Lancelot, the perfect knight, the king's champion, would be revealed as a traitor, his reputation destroyed. "When do we do this?" "Soon," Mordred says. "Very soon." He smiles. The trap is set. Mordred and Gawain watch. Wait, learn the patterns. Lancelot visits Guinevere's chambers 3 or 4 nights a week, always late, always when Arthur is occupied elsewhere, dealing with visiting nobles, attending to kingdom business, or simply asleep in his own chambers. Lancelot enters through a side door, stays for hours, leaves before dawn. It's routine, predictable, perfect for a trap. Mordred gathers more allies. His half-brother Gawain, and Gawain's brothers, Gaheris and Gareth, though Gareth is reluctant. "This feels wrong," Gareth says. "Spying on the Queen, on Lancelot. They've done nothing to us." "They've betrayed the king," Mordred says. "Every night, for years. That's treason." "The king knows," Gareth argues. "He must know. If he wanted to act on it, he would. The king is too kind, too forgiving. He needs someone to force his hand, for the good of the kingdom." Gareth doesn't look convinced, but he doesn't refuse either. They gather 12 knights total, all willing to serve as witnesses, all ready to testify. "We wait until they're together," Mordred explains. "In her chambers. Then we confront them. With all of us as witnesses, they can't deny it. The king will have to act." "When?" Gawain asks. "Tonight. Midnight." Camelot is quiet. Most of the castle is asleep. Guards walk their rounds. Otherwise, silence. In her chambers, Guinevere waits. She dismissed her servants hours ago. She's alone. A knock on the side door. Soft. 3 times. She opens it. Lancelot slips inside. They don't speak, just embrace. This is their time, stolen hours between duty and duty. "Arthur was asking about you today," Guinevere says softly. They're sitting together, just talking. Sometimes that's all they do, just be together. "What did he say?" "Nothing specific, just Where's Lancelot? I haven't seen him all day, like he missed you. I was avoiding him. Lancelot sounds guilty. I can't face him anymore, can't look him in the eye knowing what we're doing. We could stop. Could we? No. Guinevere leans against him. I don't think I could survive without this. Without you. We're going to get caught eventually. You know that. I know. And when we do, Arthur will execute you, and probably me, and everything will fall apart. I know. And you're still willing to risk it. Are you? Lancelot doesn't answer, because the answer is yes, and that's the tragedy. Outside the chamber, in the corridor, Mordred and his 12 knights gather. They're quiet, armed, ready. Mordred listens at the door, hears voices inside, low, intimate, perfect. He looks at his allies. Remember, we're doing this for the king, for the kingdom. This is necessary. Some of them nod. Gareth looks sick. Mordred raises his fist, pounds on the door. Open this door, in the name of the king. Treason. The queen is with Lancelot. We have them. Inside the chamber, Guinevere and Lancelot freeze. No, Guinevere whispers. No, no, no. More pounding. Open the door, or we break it down. Lancelot is on his feet. His sword is across the room. His armor is in his own chambers. He's wearing a tunic, unarmed, unarmored, trapped. The window, Guinevere says. You can climb. I won't leave you. You have to. If they catch you here, we're both dead. I'm not running. I won't abandon you. The pounding continues. Shouting. More voices joining. The entire castle is waking up. Guinevere. Lancelot takes her hands. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have been stronger. Should have stayed away. Now you're going to die because of me. Don't. She's crying now. Don't apologize. I don't regret this. Even now. Even if they kill me. I don't regret loving you. I love you too. One last kiss. Desperate. Knowing it's the last. Then Lancelot picks up his sword, the only weapon he has. Stay behind me, he tells Guinevere. The door splinters. The lock breaks. Knights pour into the chamber. 12 armed knights, in full armor, with swords drawn, against Lancelot, unarmed, unarmored, with only his sword. Lancelot du Lac, Agravain shouts. You're under arrest for treason, adultery with the queen, surrender. No, Lancelot says simply. They charge. Lancelot meets them at the door. The narrow doorway limits how many can attack at once. His sword flashes. Agravain goes down first. Throat cut. Dead before he hits the floor. Another knight swings. Lancelot ducks. His blade finds the gap under the man's arm. Into the lung. A third knight tries to get past. Lancelot kicks him back into the others. They stumble over each other in the narrow space. He's fighting in his nightclothes. No armor. Every strike that lands will kill him, but every strike misses. Because Lancelot is the greatest swordsman alive. Even unarmed, even unarmored, even outnumbered. He's better than them. He kills 3 more wounds, 2 others, drives them back into the corridor. Fall back, someone shouts. Regroup. The surviving knights retreat. 7 of them left 5 dead on the floor. Among the dead, Agravain. And Lancelot looks down, sees one of the bodies. Gaheris. Gawain's younger brother, not wearing armor, was probably trying to stop the fight. Dead anyway, caught in the chaos. "No," Lancelot whispers. "No, I didn't mean." But the knights are regrouping, coming again. "Go," Guinevere says. "Please, you can't fight all of them. Go now, while you can." "I'm not leaving you." "You have to. If you die here, no one can save me. But if you escape, if you gather forces, maybe you can rescue me. Maybe there's still a chance." She's right. He knows she's right. "I'll come back for you," he promises. "I swear it. I'll save you." "I know." One more kiss. Then Lancelot runs to the window, looks back once at Guinevere. She's standing in her chamber surrounded by dead knights. Blood everywhere. The most beautiful thing he's ever seen. Then he's gone. Out the window, climbing down the castle wall, disappearing into the night. The knights burst back into the chamber. Find Guinevere alone with the bodies. "Arrest her," Mordred says. He's smiling. "Take the queen to the dungeons. The king will deal with her in the morning." They don't bind her. She's the queen. Some respect is still due. But they surround her, walk her through the castle. Everyone is awake now. Everyone watching. The queen being taken to the dungeons. 5 knights dead. Blood trailing behind her. Everyone understands what this means. They take her to a cell. Stone. Cold. Dark. Lock her in. She sits on the floor. Doesn't cry. Doesn't plead. Just waits for Arthur. Dawn. Someone wakes Arthur. A guard. Nervous. Terrified. "My lord, there's been an incident. You need to come. Now." Arthur follows him through the castle, still in his night clothes. No idea what's happening. They lead him to Guinevere's chambers. The door is broken, blood in the corridor, 5 bodies being carried out. "What happened?" Arthur's voice is barely a whisper. "Mordred and Agravain caught the queen with Lancelot, my lord. They tried to arrest them. Lancelot fought his way out, killed 5 knights, including Agravain and Gaheris." Arthur stares at the bodies, at the blood. This is the moment he's been avoiding for 10 years, the moment when the truth couldn't be ignored anymore. "Where's Guinevere?" "In the dungeons, my lord, awaiting your judgment." "And Lancelot?" "Escaped. He fled the castle. We don't know where he is." Arthur walks into Guinevere's chamber, the room where she slept with Lancelot, where they betrayed him for years. He sees the rumpled bed, the 2 wine cups, the evidence of intimacy. He stands there for a long time, silent, finally. "Assemble the court. We'll hold a trial, today." "Yes, my lord." "And find Lancelot. I want him brought back, alive if possible." "Yes, my lord." Arthur looks at the guard. "How long has everyone known?" The guard shifts uncomfortably. "Known what, my lord?" "Don't lie to me. How long has the court known about my wife and my champion?" The guard can't meet his eyes. "Years, my lord. I'm sorry. We thought you knew and chose not to act." "I did know. I did choose not to act." Arthur's voice is hollow. "I thought I could pretend forever. Thought I could avoid this. Thought maybe they'd stop. Or maybe I'd stop caring." He looks at the blood. "I was wrong. By midday, every important person in Camelot is in the Great Hall. Knights, nobles, clergy, servants, everyone who can fit. The round table sits in the center. But today, no one sits there. Today, The table feels like an accusation, the symbol of brotherhood, now broken. Arthur sits on his throne. He looks like he's aged 10 years overnight. Mordred stands nearby, officially grieving his half-brother Gawain, secretly satisfied. The trap worked perfectly. Guards bring Guinevere in, still wearing her blood-stained dress from last night, hair loose, hands unbound but surrounded by soldiers. She walks with her head high, dignified even now. She kneels before Arthur, not because they force her, because she chooses to. Their eyes meet. There's so much Arthur wants to say, so many questions, but not here, not in public. "Guinevere," he says. His voice is formal, king speaking to subject. "You stand accused of treason, adultery, betrayal of your marriage vows and your oath as queen. 5 knights are dead. How do you plead?" She doesn't hesitate. "Guilty, my lord." Gasps from the crowd. Some expected her to deny it, to claim innocence, to fight. But Guinevere is done lying. "I loved Lancelot," she says clearly. "I still love him. I betrayed my vows. I betrayed you. I accept responsibility for what I've done." "Did Lancelot seduce you, force you?" "No. If anything, I pursued him. He tried to resist. For months he tried. But I wouldn't let him. This is as much my sin as his. More, perhaps." Arthur's hands grip his throne. "Why? Was I cruel to you? Did I mistreat you?" "No." Guinevere's voice softens slightly. "You were kind, respectful. You tried to be a good husband. Then why?" "Because I didn't love you, and you didn't love me. We were strangers sharing a bed, a political arrangement, nothing more." The truth, finally spoken aloud after 15 years. "I gave you everything," Arthur says. "A crown, a kingdom, security. What more did you want?" "To be loved," Guinevere says simply. "Not as a queen, not as a political asset, as a woman. To be chosen, not arranged. To be wanted, not needed. I did want you. You wanted an heir. You wanted an alliance. You never wanted me." Arthur has no response. Because she's right. Mordred steps forward. "My lord, if I may, we have witnesses. 7 knights who saw Lancelot in the Queen's chambers last night, who heard them together. The surviving knights testify one by one. They heard voices, heard intimate conversation, saw Lancelot flee through the window. The evidence is overwhelming, undeniable." Finally, Arthur speaks. "Where is Lancelot? He should face these charges too." "He fled, my lord. He's a coward and a traitor." "Lancelot is not a coward," Arthur says sharply. It's the first real emotion he's shown. Whatever else he is, he's not a coward. He left because he knew he couldn't fight the whole castle, because if he stayed, he'd die and wouldn't be able to help Guinevere. Then he's a traitor. Yes, that he is. Arthur's voice drops. My greatest friend, the brother I chose, a traitor. Silence in the hall. But that's his trial, not hers. Right now we're judging Guinevere. The Archbishop stands. He's been silent until now, watching, listening. "The law is clear, my lord. Adultery by a queen is treason. The penalty is death." "I know the law," Arthur says quietly. "There is no exception, no royal pardon. The law applies to everyone, even queens." "I said I know the law." "Then you know what you must do." Arthur looks at Guinevere. She meets his eyes. No pleading, no begging, just acceptance. She knew this would come eventually. She chose this. Chose love over life. No regrets. Arthur thinks about his own sins. The May Day massacre. 43 babies drowned on his orders. How can he execute her for love when he's damned for so much worse? But he's king. The law must be upheld. If Arthur shows weakness here, if he pardons her, the kingdom fractures. The lords lose faith. Everything he built crumbles. Personal feelings don't matter. The crown matters. The kingdom matters. "Guinevere," Arthur says. His voice is shaking. "Former Queen of Britain, you are found guilty of treason. The sentence is death by fire, to be carried out tomorrow at dawn." Guinevere doesn't flinch, just nods. "I understand, my lord." "Take her back to the dungeons." The guards lead her out. Arthur watches her go. The woman he married 15 years ago. The woman who gave him loyalty, if not love. The woman who's about to die because she wanted to feel something real. The hall empties. Slowly, everyone uncomfortable. This isn't justice. Everyone knows it, but it's the law. Finally, Arthur is alone in the great hall, just him and the round table, the symbol of his dream. Brotherhood, unity, honor, all lies. That night, Arthur sits in his private chambers. No servants, no advisors, just alone. There's a knock. He doesn't answer. The door opens anyway. Kay, his foster brother, the man who's known him longest. "I'm sorry," Kay says simply. "For what?" "For all of it. For Guinevere, for Lancelot, for the knights who died, for what you have to do tomorrow." Arthur doesn't respond. Kay sits beside him. "Did you love her, Guinevere?" "I tried to." "That's not what I asked." "No, I didn't love her. She's right about that. It was arranged, duty. I tried to make it work, but there was never passion, connection, love. And Lancelot. I loved Lancelot like a brother, more than a brother. He was the best friend I've ever had. I'm sitting right here." That gets a ghost of a smile from Arthur. "Your family, that's different. Lancelot was chosen. We chose each other. That was special. And he betrayed you." "Yes. With your wife." "Yes. For years." "Yes." Kay is silent for a moment. "What are you going to do?" "Burn her tomorrow, like the law requires. You could pardon her, send her to a convent, exile her. The law gives the king discretion." "No, it doesn't. Not for treason. And the lords are watching. If I show weakness now, the kingdom falls. I know." They sit in silence. "I don't want to do this," Arthur whispers. "I don't want to kill her." "Then don't." "I have to." "Do you? Or are you choosing the crown over mercy? Choosing your kingdom over your humanity?" Arthur looks at him. "What else can I do? I'm king. The kingdom is my responsibility. If I let personal feelings override the law, what kind of king am I?" "The kind who's also human." "Kings don't get to be human. That's the price of the crown." Kay has no answer to that. Arthur stands. walks to the window. I hope Lancelot comes. I hope he tries to rescue her, because then I won't have to make this choice. Then he makes it for me. What if he does? What if he saves her? Then I'll have to go to war with my best friend, hunt him down, kill him. Arthur's voice breaks. But at least Guinevere will be alive. At least I won't have burned her. You're hoping Lancelot rebels so you don't have to execute her yourself. Yes. Is that cowardice? Maybe. But it's also love. You do love them. Both of them. Even after everything. Arthur closes his eyes. That's what makes this so hard. I love them. And they destroyed me. And I still love them. He's silent for a long moment. Then, leave me, Kay. I need to be alone tonight. Kay stands, puts a hand on Arthur's shoulder. For what it's worth, you're a good king. Better than Britain deserves. If I was a good king, none of this would have happened. Kay leaves Arthur, stands at the window, staring into darkness, hoping, praying that Lancelot comes, that his friend saves him from having to kill the woman his friend loves. Morning, cold, grey sky threatening rain. A stake has been erected in Camelot's main courtyard, tall, thick, freshly cut wood piled around its base. Oil poured over everything. Crowds gather, nobles, knights, common folk. Everyone in Camelot has come to witness this. No one wants to be here, but everyone comes. This is history, horrible history. The Queen is going to burn. Arthur sits on a raised platform, king's duty to witness justice. His face is stone, but his hands are shaking. Beside him, Mordred, watching everything, satisfied. This is going according to plan. The kingdom is tearing itself apart. Arthur is destroying himself. Perfect. The castle doors open. Guards escort Guinevere out. She's wearing a white shift, hair loose, hands unbound. She's the queen, or was. Some dignity is preserved. She walks calmly, not struggling, not weeping, just walking, accepting her fate. The crowd is silent. Many are crying. Guinevere was loved, is loved. She was a good queen, kind, just. She made one mistake, and it's costing her everything. The priests approach her, offer last rites, final confession. Guinevere accepts, kneels, speaks to the priests quietly. Whatever she says, the priests' faces soften. They bless her. One is openly weeping. Then the guards lead her to the stake, tie her to it, gently as they can. Wood surrounds her to her waist, oil soaked, ready to burn. A knight stands ready with a torch, waiting for Arthur's signal. Arthur stands. This is his moment. He must give the order, must signal the execution to begin. He looks at Guinevere. Their eyes meet one last time. He wants to say something, wants to apologize, wants to beg forgiveness for this, for the loveless marriage that drove her to Lancelot, for choosing the kingdom over mercy. But he's too far away. She wouldn't hear him anyway. Guinevere seems to understand. She nods slightly, accepting, forgiving. She's ready. Arthur raises his hand, the signal. The knight with the torch steps forward, lowers the flames toward the oil-soaked wood, and then thunder. Not from the sky, from the gates, horses, dozens of them, crashing into the courtyard, knights in armor, swords drawn, charging, leading them, Lancelot. Lancelot came. Of course he came. He swore he would save her. He's brought every knight loyal to him, maybe 50 men. All the knights who loved Lancelot more than they feared Arthur. They crash into the courtyard like a wave, scattering the crowd, trampling anyone too slow to move. "Stop them!" Arthur shouts, but his forces aren't ready. This was an execution, not a battle. No one expected an attack. Lancelot's knights slam into the guards surrounding Guinevere. It's slaughter, immediate chaos. The guards aren't wearing full armor, aren't in formation. They're ceremonial guards, not combat troops. Lancelot cuts through them. His sword is everywhere, not stopping, not slowing, focused entirely on reaching Guinevere. People are screaming, running, trying to escape. Arthur's knights are drawing swords, trying to respond. But everything is chaos, confusion. Lancelot reaches the stake, cuts Guinevere's bonds with one swing, lifts her onto his horse. "I've got you," he says. "You're safe." "You came," she whispers. "Of course I came. I love you." He turns his horse, ready to flee, and sees Gareth. Gareth, Gawain's youngest brother, the gentlest knight at the Round Table, who loved Lancelot like an older brother, who taught Lancelot British customs when he first arrived from Gaul. Gareth is standing in the courtyard, unarmed. He wasn't guarding Guinevere, wasn't fighting, was just witnessing the execution. He sees Lancelot smiles in relief. "Lancelot! Thank God! I didn't want..." One of Lancelot's knights sees an enemy in the way, doesn't recognize Gareth, doesn't care, rides him down, tramples him, cuts him down. Gareth falls, dies before Lancelot can reach him. "No!" Lancelot screams. "Gareth, no! He wasn't fighting! He was unarmed!" But Gareth is dead, crushed, cut down by Lancelot's own forces, the boy who loved him, killed in the rescue. "We have to go!" one of Lancelot's knights shouts. "Arthur's forces are organizing. We need to leave now." Lancelot looks at Gareth's body, at the boy he loved like a little brother. Another sin, another death on his conscience. He turns his horse, flees. Guinevere clinging to him. His knights follow. They crash out of the courtyard, thunder away, gone before Arthur's forces can stop them. The courtyard is a slaughterhouse. 20 men dead, maybe more. Bodies everywhere. Guards, knights, civilians caught in the chaos. Among the dead, Gareth and Gaheris, killed in Guinevere's chambers 2 nights ago. Both of Gawain's younger brothers, both dead, both killed by Lancelot or his forces. Arthur stands among the carnage, numb. This was supposed to be an execution. Justice, the law. It became a massacre. "How many?" he asks someone. 23 confirmed dead, my lord. Dozens wounded. 23. Added to the 5 who died in Guinevere's chambers. 28 dead because of an affair. Because Arthur couldn't control his wife and his champion. Because he was weak. "Find them," Arthur says. His voice is hollow. "Raise every knight, every soldier. Hunt them down. I want Lancelot brought back, dead or alive. And I want Guinevere returned. She'll burn for this, for all of this. Yes, my lord." Sir Gawain pushes through the crowd, looking for his brothers. He finds Gaheris first, body laid out with the other dead. Then Gareth, trampled, cut down, face barely recognizable. Both dead, both of his brothers. Gawain collapses beside them, pulls them close, weeping. "No, no, 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 not them. Anyone but them." Gareth was 22, Kind, gentle, still believed in the ideals of knighthood, still thought knights were supposed to be heroes. Gaheris was 25, trying to stop the fight in Guinevere's chambers, trying to keep the peace, both innocent, both dead. Gawain was Lancelot's friend, his ally, his supporter. When other knights criticized Lancelot's favored status, Gawain defended him. Not anymore. Arthur approaches, puts a hand on Gawain's shoulder. "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." Gawain looks up. His face is twisted with grief and rage. They were unarmed. Gareth was unarmed. He was just standing there, and Lancelot's men cut him down. I know. He loved Lancelot. Gareth loved him like a brother. And Lancelot killed him. Lancelot didn't... Lancelot led the attack! Gawain roars. Lancelot brought those men. Lancelot is responsible. I don't care if he swung the sword himself. My brothers are dead because of him. Arthur has no response, because Gawain is right. I'll kill him, Gawain says. His voice drops to a whisper, more terrifying than his shout. I swear on my brother's blood, on their graves, on their memory. I will kill Lancelot du Lac. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what it costs. He dies. Gawain, no, don't try to stop me. Don't tell me to forgive. Don't tell me vengeance is wrong. He murdered my brothers. He dies. Gawain stands, looks at Arthur. Give me command of your forces. Let me hunt him. Let me end this. Arthur looks at his knight, at the rage and grief consuming him. This is what the affair has cost. Not just Guinevere and Lancelot, not just Arthur, everyone. The entire kingdom, the whole round table, broken. We march at dawn, Arthur says quietly. You'll have your vengeance. Lancelot and his knights flee to Joyous Gard, Lancelot's castle, given to him by Arthur years ago as a reward for service. Now it's a fortress, a refuge, a prison. Guinevere is there, safe, but trapped. What have we done? She asks the first night. They're in Lancelot's chambers, alone, for the first time since the rescue. I saved you. You killed 28 people, including Gareth, including Gaheris. I didn't know they'd be there. Does that matter? They're still dead. Lancelot has no answer. Everyone we loved is dead or about to be, Guinevere continues. And it's our fault, our affair, our choices. Would you rather I'd left you to burn? Maybe. At least then only I would die. Not 28 innocents, not Gareth who loved you, not this whole kingdom. I couldn't let you die. Why not? I'm guilty. I committed treason. The law was clear. Because I love you. Lancelot grabs her shoulders. I love you more than the law, more than Arthur, more than my honor. I'd watch the whole world burn before I let them kill you. Guinevere looks at him. That's what terrifies me, because it's true, and because I feel the same, and because this love, this terrible, impossible love, is destroying everything. Then it destroys everything I don't care, as long as you're alive. They hold each other. Two people who chose love over duty and damned a kingdom for it. 3 days after the rescue, Arthur arrives. With an army, thousands of men. They surround Joyous Gard, cut off all access, settle in for a siege. This isn't a quick raid. This is war. Arthur's forces build siege engines, catapults, towers. They're going to break the castle, extract Lancelot and Guinevere, and then they're going to execute them both. Inside the castle, Lancelot's forces prepare. They have supplies, water, can hold out for months, but eventually they'll run out. Eventually, Arthur wins. It's just a matter of time. Every day, Arthur's forces attack. Catapults hurl stones, battering rams pound the gates. Every day, Lancelot's forces defend. Arrows from the walls, boiling oil, counterattacks. Men die. Every day, on both sides. These are knights who fought together, bled together, called each other brother. Now they're killing each other. The Round Table destroying itself. Every day, Gawain rides to Joyous Gard's gates. Alone, shouting challenges. "Lancelot, come out! Face me! You murdered my brothers! I demand justice!" Lancelot watches from the walls. "I won't fight you, Gawain. You're my friend." "I'm not your friend. I'm your executioner. My brothers were unarmed and you killed them. Come down and face me or I'll call you craven. Coward, traitor." "I didn't kill them. My men did. In the confusion. I didn't even know they were there." "You led the attack. You brought those men. You're responsible. Now come down and face justice." This goes on for days, weeks. Gawain riding to the gates. Lancelot refusing to fight. Arthur watches. Says nothing. This is between them now. Finally, after a month of siege, Lancelot agrees to fight. Not because he wants to. Because his men are ashamed. Because the castle whispers coward. Because Gawain is right. Lancelot is responsible for Gareth and Gaheris's deaths. Maybe not directly, but responsible. "I'll fight you," Lancelot calls from the walls. "Tomorrow, dawn, single combat. If I win, you end the siege. If you win, you can have my head." "Agreed," Gawain roars. "Tomorrow you die." That night, Guinevere begs Lancelot not to fight. "He'll kill you. You know he will. Gawain has a gift. His strength triples until noon. You can't beat him in the morning." "I know." "Then why fight him?" "Because I owe him this. I killed his brothers. He deserves his revenge." "So you'll just die and leave me here, trapped in this castle with Arthur's army outside?" "If I win, the siege ends, you'll be safe. And if you lose, then I die. And maybe that's what should happen. Maybe that's justice." Dawn, the armies pull back, creating space between the castle and the siege lines. Neutral ground. Gawain rides out, full armor, sword drawn, face hidden behind his visor, but his rage is visible anyway. The castle gates open. Lancelot rides out, also in full armor. Excalibur. No, not Excalibur. His own sword. Normal steel. No magic, no advantages. Just two knights. Both among the best in the world. They face each other. 50 yards apart. No words, no ceremony. They've said everything already. They charge. The impact is tremendous. Horses screaming, steel crashing. Both men stay mounted. They wheel, charge again. Lances shatter. Both men are thrown from their horses. They rise, draw swords, circle each other. Gawain attacks first. His strength is tripled. It's morning. His gift is active. His strikes are like hammers. Each blow drives Lancelot back. Lancelot blocks, barely. His arms are shaking from the impacts. Gawain hits like a giant. This is what Gawain does. Fights like a berserker in the morning. Overwhelming, unstoppable. Lancelot can't attack, can only defend. Block. Dodge. Survive. An hour passes. Lancelot is wounded, cut on his shoulder, his leg, blood streaming. Gawain is untouched, tireless. His strength doesn't fade. Another hour. Lancelot can barely stand. His defense is weakening. Gawain sees it, presses harder. Die! Die for my brothers! Lancelot blocks a strike. Barely. Falls to one knee. Gawain raises his sword, two-handed overhead. This will kill him. This is for Gareth! Gawain screams. The blade comes down and stops. Noon. The church bells ring. Gawain's strength fades instantly. The gift ends. He's just a normal man now, and Lancelot is the greatest swordsman alive. Lancelot rises, fast. His blade flashes, catches Gawain's wrist. The sword falls. Another strike. Gawain's helmet flies off. His face is exposed. Lancelot's blade touches Gawain's throat. One push, and he's dead. Yield, Lancelot says. No, kill me. I'd rather die than live without my brothers. I won't kill you, Gawain. I loved Gareth. I loved Gaheris. Their deaths haunt me. I won't add you to that burden. Then you're a coward. Maybe. But I won't kill any more friends. I'm done. Lancelot steps back, lowers his sword. I yield. Take Guinevere. Take me. End this war. I won't kill anyone else. He drops his sword, stands there, unarmed, offering his life. Gawain stares at him, rage and grief and confusion warring on his face. He could kill Lancelot right now, pick up his sword and cut him down. Revenge for his brothers. But Lancelot yielded, disarmed himself. Breaking the rules of single combat to kill him would be murder. And Gawain is a knight. Still, despite everything, still bound by honor. Damn you, Gawain whispers. Damn you, Lancelot. He picks up his sword, sheathes it, turns away, can't bring himself to murder an unarmed man, even one he hates. The duel ends. No victor, no vanquished, just two broken men walking away from each other. That night, a messenger arrives. Wearing the Pope's colors, he's brought an official decree. Sealed, urgent. Arthur reads it in his tent. The Pope has heard about the civil war, about the siege, about knights killing knights. And the Pope is ordering it to stop. King Arthur is commanded to accept the return of Queen Guinevere. Sir Lancelot is commanded to surrender her and depart Britain. This war ends now by order of His Holiness. Arthur reads it twice, then laughs bitter, exhausted. Even the Pope has to fix my mistakes. But he can't refuse. The Pope's word is absolute. To defy it would mean excommunication, would mean losing the Church's support, would mean admitting he cares more about revenge than salvation. Send word to Lancelot, Arthur says. I'll accept Guinevere's return. He can keep his life, but he leaves Britain forever. If he ever returns, I'll kill him myself. A week later, formal exchange, neutral ground, both armies watching. Lancelot brings Guinevere, on horseback, riding between the armies toward Arthur. This is the last time they'll see each other. They both know it. I love you, Guinevere whispers. I love you, Lancelot replies. I'm sorry for all of it. I should have been stronger, should have stayed away. Don't. I don't regret this. I don't regret you, even now, even after everything. We destroyed a kingdom. We loved each other. That's all we did, love. If the kingdom couldn't survive love, maybe it deserved to fall. They reach the midpoint. Stop. Arthur is there, waiting, on foot. Lancelot dismounts, helps Guinevere down. They stand there, the three of them, for the last time. Arthur, Lancelot says. His voice breaks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You were my brother, my king, my friend. I betrayed you. I have no excuse. Arthur looks at him. This man who was everything to him, best friend, champion, brother, traitor. Was it worth it? Arthur asks. All of this. Was she worth it? Lancelot looks at Guinevere, then back at Arthur. Yes, I'd do it again. I'd destroy everything again if it meant loving her. I'm sorry, but yes. Arthur nods. At least you're honest. He turns to Guinevere, his wife, or former wife. He's not sure what she is now. You'll return to court, as queen, technically, but we'll live separately, sleep separately. You'll retire to a convent, eventually, after an appropriate time. I understand. Was it worth it? Arthur asks her the same question. Was he worth destroying everything we built? I didn't love you, Guinevere says. I tried. For 15 years I tried. But there was nothing there. Just duty. Just emptiness. And then there was Lancelot. And for the first time, I felt something real. So yes, it was worth it. Arthur's face doesn't change, but something inside him breaks. Whatever hope remained, gone. Go, he tells Lancelot. Leave Britain. Don't come back. If I ever see you again, I'll kill you. Friend or not, I'll kill you. Lancelot mounts his horse, looks at Guinevere one last time. I love you, he mouths. She nods, tears streaming down her face. Then Lancelot rides away. His surviving knights follow. They leave Britain, cross the Channel to Gaul. Arthur will never see him again. Guinevere watches him go, watches the only man she ever loved disappear. Then she turns to Arthur, her husband, her king, her jailer. I'm ready to go back. Arthur nods, doesn't speak, can't speak. They ride back to Camelot, together, separate. The war is over, the kingdom is broken, and no one won. Let's count the cost. 28 dead in the rescue, including Gareth and Gaheris, Gawain's brothers, innocent men who loved Lancelot. Hundreds more dead in the siege of Joyous Gard knights, killing knights. Brothers killing brothers. The round table shattered. Half the knights exiled with Lancelot. The other half broken by grief and guilt. The greatest fellowship in British history, destroyed by an affair. Think about them. Really think about them. Guinevere, married at 18 to a man she didn't love, expected to produce heirs she couldn't deliver, given everything except the one thing she wanted. To be chosen, not arranged. She found love with Lancelot, real love. And it cost her everything. She'll spend the rest of her life in a convent, praying, alone, never seeing Lancelot again. Lancelot, the perfect knight, the greatest warrior alive. He swore loyalty to Arthur. loved Arthur as a brother, and he betrayed him, not deliberately, not maliciously, but completely. He saved Guinevere's life and destroyed everything else. He'll live in exile, haunted by Gareth's death, knowing he destroyed his best friend, never seeing Guinevere again. Arthur, he tried to be good, tried to build something lasting, tried to create a kingdom where might didn't make right, where honor mattered, where knights could be brothers. He married for duty, let his wife love another man because he was afraid to lose them both, and lost them anyway. His wife returns to him, but not really. Just a hollow shadow sharing his castle. His best friend is gone forever. His kingdom is fractured, and his son, Mordred, watches it all, smiling, waiting. 3 good people, none of them villains, all of them trapped. Guinevere trapped in a loveless marriage, Lancelot trapped between duty and love. Arthur trapped between mercy and law, all 3 destroyed by impossible choices.
Who's the villain here? Not Guinevere. She was married off at 18, given no choice, expected to love on command. She can't be blamed for finding real connection elsewhere. Not Lancelot. He tried to resist. For months he tried. Love isn't a choice. The heart wants what it wants. Yes, he betrayed Arthur, but not from malice, from human weakness. Not really Arthur. He made the mistake of ignoring the affair, of pretending, of hoping it would resolve itself. But what else could he do? Execute his wife and best friend at the first whisper? Live in paranoid suspicion? He tried to hold things together. It didn't work. Maybe Mordred. He forced it into the open, set the trap. But even he's not entirely wrong. There was treason. There was betrayal. He just exposed it. Maybe the system, medieval marriage, women as political property, honor culture that demands blood for betrayal, laws that make love between the wrong people, treason. Maybe everyone. Maybe no one. Maybe this was always going to end in blood. From the moment Lancelot and Guinevere's eyes met, the tragedy was inevitable. This isn't just about 3 people. This is about the impossible standards of Camelot. The fantasy of perfect knights living by perfect honor knights are human. Humans are flawed. They fall in love with the wrong people. They make mistakes. They hurt each other. The Round Table was built on an ideal. Perfect fellowship, perfect honor, perfect loyalty. But perfection isn't human. And when humans try to be perfect, they break. Lancelot was the most perfect knight, and he committed the most imperfect betrayal. Guinevere was the perfect queen, and she committed treason. Arthur tried to be the perfect king, and he lost everything. The affair destroyed Camelot because Camelot was already built on a lie. The lie that humans can transcend their humanity, that knights can be pure, that love and duty never conflict. It was always going to fail. The affair just exposed it. Episode 1, Arthur was born from deception, Uther's sin, the May Day massacre, Mordred surviving. Episode 2, Arthur's marriage failed, his best friend betrayed him, his kingdom fractured, Mordred watching. Episode 3, coming next. The knights will abandon Arthur to chase the Grail, religious obsession replacing fellowship, God taking Arthur's friends. Episode 4, coming after. Mordred will return for revenge. The final battle. Father and son killing each other, Britain burning. Every sin echoes, every choice compounds. From Uther to Arthur to Mordred. Violence breeding violence, betrayal breeding betrayal. The wheel turns, the cycle continues. and no one can stop it. Lancelot lives in exile in Gaul, builds a new life, but he's haunted. Dreams of Guinevere, of Gareth, of Arthur. He'll never be happy again. Guinevere stays at court, technically queen, but she and Arthur barely speak. Eventually, years later, she'll retire to a convent, become a nun, spend her remaining years praying for forgiveness. She'll never see Lancelot again. When she hears of Arthur's death, she'll die shortly after broken heart, or maybe just giving up. Lancelot will hear of their deaths, will return to Britain one last time, will visit their graves, will weep, and then he'll become a monk. Die 6 months later, fasting, praying, wasting away. Two people who loved each other, separated for years, dying alone, never reunited. That's the cost of their affair, not just the political destruction, the personal tragedy. They chose love, and love destroyed them. And Gawain? Gawain's hatred doesn't end, doesn't fade, doesn't heal. He'll push Arthur to pursue Lancelot, to invade Gaul, to finish this war. And while Arthur is away, while the king is in Gaul fighting his former friend, Mordred will make his move, will claim the throne, will force Arthur to return, will lead to the final battle. Gareth's death leads to Gawain's hatred, leads to Arthur's absence, leads to Mordred's rebellion, leads to everyone dying. The affair doesn't just destroy Arthur, Lancelot, and Guinevere. It destroys Britain itself. This is the greatest love story in Arthurian legend. And it's horrifying. Not because the love wasn't real, it was. Lancelot and Guinevere genuinely loved each other deeply, completely. But that love cost thousands of lives, destroyed a kingdom, killed innocent people, shattered dreams. Was it worth it? They thought so, both of them, even at the end, even after everything. They said it was worth it. But tell that to Gareth, to the 28 dead in the courtyard, to the hundreds dead in the siege. Tell that to Arthur, sitting alone in his castle, his wife technically returned but emotionally gone, his best friend exiled, his kingdom fractured. Tell that to Britain, which will fall to Mordred because Arthur was weakened by this war. Was their love worth all that death? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it's the wrong question. Maybe the real question is, why did the system make love and duty incompatible? Why was Guinevere forced to marry without love? Why did a private affair become public treason? Maybe the tragedy isn't the affair itself. Maybe it's the world that made the affair tragic. The round table sits in Arthur's hall, mostly empty now. Lancelot's seat, empty. He's never coming back. Gareth's seat, empty. He's dead. Gaheris's seat, empty. Also dead, a dozen other seats, empty. Knights who fled with Lancelot, knights who died in the siege, the fellowship that was supposed to last forever, shattered, broken, dead. And it all started with a glance, a connection, a forbidden love. We were supposed to be better, Arthur says to the empty hall. To no one. We were supposed to transcend this, supposed to be more than human, more than petty, more than weak. But they weren't. They were human, and humans fail, and love, and destroy each other trying to do both. The round table was a dream. The affair was reality. Reality 1, Episode 3.
The Grail Quest. The knights will abandon Arthur, not for another king, not for rebellion, for God. They'll chase a vision, a cup, the Holy Grail, perfect spiritual union, and in chasing perfection, they'll abandon duty, abandon their king, abandon Britain. Galahad will arrive, Lancelot's son, pure, sinless, perfect, everything Lancelot isn't. And the knights will follow Galahad into the wasteland, seeking the Grail, seeking salvation. Most won't return, and Arthur will be left even more alone, betrayed by love, abandoned by faith, waiting for his son to kill him. If this story moved you, if you've ever made an impossible choice between love and duty, let me know in the comments. Would you have done what Lancelot did? Saved the person you loved, even if it meant betraying your best friend? Would you have done what Arthur did? Upheld the law, even if it meant executing your wife? Would you have done what Guinevere did? Chosen love over duty, knowing the cost? There are no right answers, just impossible choices and consequences that echo through history.